Yeah, hi there. Welcome back to Jock Cooks. Today I'm cooking cottage pie. Pretty straightforward stuff, but to make a good cottage pie you need to first make a nice drop of mince. So what we've got here is I've got a nice mince. We've got some. We're going to brown this mince, almost a kilo of mince here, about 900 grams. We've got carrots already diced, we've got onion diced, we've got our Worcester sauce, tomato sauce, pesto, pepper and salt. That's basically all we need, and a wee vodka. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to go over to the stove and we're going to brown the mince. In the bottom of the pan here I've put some oil in here just to stop the mince from sticking, and we're going to add the mince slowly. See that sizzling away there? And add it bit by bit. We're going to stir that around because we want the mince brown. Before we do any more, we want all the mince brown. Okay, now this browning process will take about 5 minutes or so, we'll do that, and then we'll get back and we'll add the rest of the stuff and the ingredients and go from there. So I'll spend the next 5 minutes browning the mince away, and we'll get back here. Yeah, hi there, here we go, we're back again. We've got the mince nicely browned and it's all broken up and looking good. Still no liquid in there, so we've still got that quite on high. I'm going to take the onion, add the onion, and get that stirred through. Then we're going to add some salt. Quite a lot of salt. Mince can handle plenty of salt. There's nearly a teaspoon in there. Don't be shy. We're going to do the black pepper now. And we're going to add a teaspoon of, not quite a teaspoon, it was a teaspoon of pesto. Let's go with a teaspoon of pesto. We're going to stir that through like you would with a curry powder. Just let that cook away a bit in there. Then we're going to take a good dollop of tomato sauce. Kids love tomato sauce, makes it palatable for everyone. Worcester sauce. And we're going to stir that round. We're going to add the carrot, and stir that round. Now there's no sugar in this because the carrot and the onion are what we're relying on to sweeten. The carrots and onion are very sweet, so we're going to use them as our sugar content. Now we're going to just cover that mince. We're just going to put enough water in there just to float the mince. Then we're going to put it back on the stove, crank her up, bring it to the boil and simmer for a good hour till the carrots are nice and tender. 3/4 of an hour to an hour. And then we'll get back to that, and then we're going to thicken it later and we're going to set it in the dish. So we'll get back to you in a little while. Yeah, here we are back again. The mince is looking, we're just going to go over and have a look at the mince and check it out. I've just added, just a couple of minutes ago, I've added some frozen peas and some sliced onion. What we're going to do is just stir that through, and we've got a very nice, the carrots are nicely tender and we've extracted all the sweetness out of the carrots. Now we're going to thicken it. We don't want want that onion and the pea and the new onion too overcooked, because it's going to set in the pie. And then here I've got a dessert spoon of plain flour and a good half teaspoon of Bristol, and I've mixed this into a nice smooth paste. If it's too runny, it won't thicken. If it's too thick, you can't get it out, it'll go lumpy. So it's important to get that just a nice smooth texture there. And we're just going to add that into the mince, just a little bit at a time, and stir it through, just to thicken that mince up. Because we want a good solid mince for a shepherd's pie. We're going to let it set, we're going to let it go cold. So we're going to use the whole lot. In this case we're going to bring that back and just simmer that for 3 or 4 minutes to cook the flour. So we're just going to stir that away. And then we're going to put it in, we'll get back in a couple of minutes. I'm just going to make sure that doesn't go too thick and just stir it away. Yeah, here we are. Now we've got it thickened. As I said, I added a good handful of sliced onion just before the end there, and a good handful of peas, and just brought it back to the boil, so that onion's still quite raw, if you like, in a way. But and now we've thickened it. We've got a nice, and we're going to pour that now into the dish here, which is cold, because we're going to let the mince set. We want it to go, so we're going to pour that in there. I'll try doing this left-handed or right-handed. So we're going to put that in there, all that mince in there. And that's about the consistency we want. And now we're going to let that sit. And we're going to put the potatoes on. While that mince sets, we could probably put it in the fridge. Once it goes cold, we put it in the fridge, because we would probably want to, at least next day would be nice. But we're going to have it tonight. And here I've got some spuds I've already done them. We're going to mash those, so we want not too runny a mashed potato. Again, salt, plenty of salt. That's enough salt for spuds. We've got quite a bit of spud here, so. But taste as it goes through. I've been tasting this on the way. I've added a little bit more salt to the mince as I went. Just felt it needed a little more. And there we go. So we're just going to let that sit for the base of the cottage pie, and we'll get back to the mashed potatoes later on and have a finished article. Yeah, here we are at the final solution. Where that mince had set nicely in the pan. I put it in the fridge for half an hour or so, and I've spread the potatoes on top, nicely mashed with some grated cheese. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of black pepper on top of that. So this is basically cold at the moment. We're going to put it in a warm oven and grill it for about half an hour or so till it's nice crunchy on top. We might bring it back out there and we'll show you the finished article in about half an hour. Okay. And here we go. That's been set all nicely and grilled. And we're ready to eat. Okay, bye bye. We'll be doing something else tomorrow.